What's going on, everybody? My name's Tyler. This is Sean. We're Rendered Reality. Thanks for joining us on Coffee and VR, as always. And I'm just going to go out and say it. We did have a little bit of technical difficulties. We don't usually like to talk about it, but it's kind of fun. We even talked about streaming our setup beforehand. We probably should have because it has been chaotic as all get out.
Yeah, normally we are in two different places. I'm in Virginia, he's in Ohio. Today, this morning, I'm in Ohio, so we're in the same place, not usually where we're streaming from. So it was a little bit of time and stuff setting everything up. We had last minute coffee fill-ups, and it was a little bit crazy. So
yeah, it got a little nuts. But on a better note, we actually got to play some stuff together, which was super cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Last night, we played a good bit of stuff. He threw me under the bus and tried to get me to beat his high score on Stride. And on Project Cars, man.
Yeah, we got to talk about this a little bit because in our last episode, we were kind of on the fence about did we want to pick up Project Cars 3? Is this something we wanted to play? The reviews were not that great,
horrible.
Some 50-50 mix. Some people were mad about it not being a full-on sim racer and a little bit more arcade, but you spent quite a bit of time trying to get this running right, and I hadn't played it till I got over to his house and got into his rig and stuff. And so what was the setup like? What did you...
Even to go back farther, on last week's show, we talked about, I was asking everyone's opinion. Had they picked it up? Are they going to? And everyone basically said no. They were afraid of it. Everyone kind of knocked it, the first reviews that came out, and I was on the same boat. And I told you, and you laughed at me, but I said, you know what? I have to do it for science. I mean,
that's right.
I literally have to, because if I'm on the fence, I need to know why, and I need to tell people why. Honestly, I am shocked. I am shocked how much I love it, how enjoyable it is. The only thing I will say, two things out of all of it. One, it's misnamed all day. I mean, it's 100% misnamed. It should not be called Project Cars 3. Only because it is not a sequel to the second one. And I feel like that was their biggest mistake coming out of the gate. But on top of it, the performance is still not there. It took me near 2 to 3 hours probably
and it's
to
still
get
not
it to
perfect.
run right. It's not perfect. It's not.
I mean, when you're playing it, there's a lot of clipping out in the background, like in the mountains and the scenes and stuff. You see it kind of clipping and out, and you get some white stuff. And
some
there's
effects around the cars, like in rain and darkness.
And distance. It's pretty hard to see distance. Out in the distance is pretty blurry, and it's not like a headset thing. It's more of a soft, like of a game thing. It's just
I've tried everything, man. I know.
It's a little weird.
It is. I'm curious if they're locking things at certain hertz coming out of the game, which is what I have a feeling, because I was running the 120 on the index, and it seemed like I was dropping frames, but I have a feeling they're only pushing it out at 60 hertz. I don't know that. I have no affirmation of that, but it was what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
The fast-moving objects and stuff, you really see that frame skip. So other than that, it looked great. Inside the cars look good.
Yeah, the menus and
effects,
stuff.
The menus are awesome.
It's mainly the distance stuff.
It's totally an arcade game, though. I mean, you can't come out and say that this was an actual sim game. South Memphis, man.
What's
Cheers,
up?
man.
Thank you.
One of our biggest sponsors lately, man. We really appreciate that. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
But it is. I mean, it's a good game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think you have to go into it open-minded and not thinking it's a sequel to Project Cars 2. And I feel like it's a better game.
I think it's going to take an update. I think if they can push out another update that's going to help performance a little bit better, I think that's going to be a big thing that'll help the game out a lot. And honestly, for me, I liked it better. I liked... So the driving aspect, for me, the cars just felt like I could control them more because it is more arcade. I was able to slide them around a little bit. Before, when I would slide a car around, because I'm not the best sim racer, for sure. I'm not a big sim racer.
But you enjoy it.
Yeah, but when I would slide a car around in like Project Cars 2, a lot of times it was uncontrollable and the car would slide out and I would do donuts and be totally messed up, which I still slid out some in Project Cars 3 as well, but I was able to maintain control a little bit better and it just felt better control wise. And I'm curious for people like Greg's VR and stuff that plays a lot of sim, and I don't think he's tried this yet. I'm curious to see what his thoughts and people like that that do a lot more racing games, because I don't do that much racing.
Greg's might be a little more open to stuff like that because he enjoys the other fun stuff inside of the sim racing as well. I saw he was doing some kart racing and stuff on his channel here lately, which I think is awesome. It's you got to be open to it, man. It's a fun game. It's great. Normally in sim racers, you jump in and you're spinning out first lap or something. This you went the whole time like hardly spinning out unless you were just ripping it.
It felt more rewarding to me, honestly. And Limba Zero said FPS VR, which you do have that. We need to run that to see exactly what frames are running. We did talk about that a little bit yesterday. Another thing that we played some together, not so much together, but I got to see Tyler in action trying out Stride for the first time. So I have, where the heck is it? So I have tried this myself quite a bit. And I was terrible. And I was like, dude, this game is hard. Like, I could not get high scores. I couldn't get a flow going good. And I'm like, I just want to see what you think of the game and watch him play. And at first you had a little bit of trouble too. And you were like, I don't know. But you did start to get the flow and you were doing pretty good.
Like right there, you can see I missed a jump. And that's the thing. It's all these combos that you have to do. So you have to think ahead about what you're doing and what your obstacles are coming. So you're doing these button presses to jump and throw yourself
swing
up,
your arms,
or hit a button to jump at one point. So you can do like double jumps that way, jump up, and then launch yourself, and that's when it gets tricky.
Runs
and I think it is just remembering those button presses and the motions and stuff, and then it becomes a very open world game to where you feel excited to try this and do this.
And I think
that's that limit of like how hard it is, I feel like. Right?
And that's what I said last week, I think, when we talked about this, that I think this game is going to be a big learning curve. And I think the biggest thing is if people are going to pick this up and they're going to take the time to get good at it and learn it, because it is a learning curve. And it's and my thing is that we talked about this a little bit yesterday, that I feel like the grab points on things, when you jump and grab, like I think it needs to be just maybe a little bit more forgiving and less precise of the grab point. Like I think if you're close enough,
like a bubble.
Yeah, I think the bubble of the grab point just needs to be a little bit bigger, because
maybe a
sometimes
snap to it, even like if you were jumping up to grab a ledge, if it just kind of snapped you to it, not like oddly, but a little bit. And
just a little bit. But it's really, I mean, you did way better than I did. I mean, a lot better. And I haven't spent a ton of time in this. I've tried it a couple times. I do need to devote a little bit more time to getting good. I actually want to
get back into it now because I'm like, okay, I see myself getting better. So I'm like, okay, I want to keep getting better and keep trying.
Right.
And I do like that.
I believe this is actually available now, the endless mode. They are going to have different modes. And I've actually heard about them possibly doing a multiplayer version for Quest. And I don't know what that'll look like or how they'll do that exactly.
It would be cool, like free running, like time trial, like run against somebody in the same
I think that's what it would be. Kind of like,
cool.
What was that game? Man, I hate trying to think of the names of games on the moment, but the one where you had to, I think Servio's made it, and you had to use your hands to run, and it had the side-by-side. Somebody will know what I'm talking about. I cannot think of the name of it, but it reminds me of something like that, what they would do with multiplayer, and I'm down for that. That would be kind of cool.
I mean, I liked it. I mean, how long did I really play? You know, like
20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, half an hour. And I was actually pretty good. I felt pretty confident by the time
you were definitely getting a lot better. And I mean, the shooting, I think the shooting could be a little bit better. It feels a little bit chancy, but we play a lot of shooting games, so it's hard to compare that. But I think it's got potential. I think as people start to play this and get better at it, I'm curious to see how good people get. You know what I mean? Because there's already some pretty high scores, and most of those are developers and stuff like that that have spent some time.
I think it's a fun game. I do. It was at first I was like, whoa, this is really weird, the tutorial. I didn't know if I was even going to like it. And you do. You just learn it, and you roll with it, and it becomes a lot of fun. You feel like chasing the darkness, chasing you and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know if anybody in chat has played this yet. Sprint Vector. Did somebody? I think it just popped in. I don't know. Yeah, Sprint Vector. Anakaze. Everybody's saying it now. Sprint Vector. That was the one I was thinking of. The side-by-side kind of race, kind of trial thing. I think that's what it'll be.
Yeah, good point.
In a multiplayer version.
I like it. I like the sliding aspect where you slide under things. I do highly recommend it. What is the price point on this?
I think it's $20.
$19, right?
Yeah, I think it's $19.99. I think it's right around $20. So not bad. I mean, I think in this there's other modes.
A lot of gameplay too.
Yeah, right now there's no story mode or anything. They are going to have all that. Right now it's just the endless mode. So that is what they have. Currently, there's more coming, but for right now,
the top, the climbing aspect and stuff,
So
custom maps, ooh man,
that would be sweet.
Yep, that would be cool. Would be actually amazing. Custom maps could be sick. Yeah,
I agree with that. But it's cool. I mean, it is. What was the Mirror's Edge? I mean, it is.
Right, it is
essentially Mirror's Edge in VR.
It's great.
And I think with the learning curve and as you learn, I think people will like it. I think it's going to take some time.
Though the only thing I do, and I'm sure they're coming out with it in story mode, is like all the rooftop stuff. I haven't got to play any of that because I only did the endless mode. And I know they have some of that in there. I just don't know on what, if it's just levels or how that is.
What's in
where
there?
They have the rooftops actually to the game, where you're jumping across the rooftops instead of just in here.
Skippy VR. Thanks for this episode. PD actually said that he played this, and I think he said he got over 10,000 points, which I think you were at 8,000.
I think so, 8,000. That was my third or fourth run, I think, something like that, of being serious about it. So yeah, it is very cool. I highly recommend it. It's great.
Yeah, so somebody says, so Steven Sales said, do you wave your arms? Sorry. Tyler knocked the mic over.
I can't help it, man. Coffee involved.
Yes, and it's pretty lopsided a little bit. So he asked, do you have to wave your arms to move? And you actually don't. You move forward, but you move your arms to move faster. That's how you move faster. Yeah, and then you have to move your arms to jump higher.
Like the jumping, throwing. I feel like you're throwing your momentum.
Yeah, and another thing that I found that you do is you were only using one hand to throw yourself up, where I was trying to use both every time. So there's a lot of little tricks, I think, that'll help out. But I think it's got potential. I think it's got potential.
I agree.
Yeah, and just German Rifter said the same same thing. He said it's fun. Controls are a bit wonky in my opinion. I kind of felt that way too.
I feel like you just get better though with
practice. I think they're going to tweak it too. I think the devs are going to tweak it. They're going to take feedback. I think it'll get better. Yep. So, but I think it's got potential. And after seeing you play it, it makes me want to jump back in and try to get a little bit better because you were crushing my scores. I think my first score was like 700. I mean, awesome. It was terrible.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Oh, it was terrible. Steven Sale says, "OMG, you guys are together today."
Right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, PD said social distancing, boys. Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably not 6 feet, but that's all right.
It doesn't matter. We're family.
Yeah, right. So what else do you want to get into next? I mean, there's a couple pretty big topics we want to talk about this week. Couple pretty big things.
Yeah, there's big stuff, man. We got graphics cards. We got the Oculus Quest stuff, which is crazy a little bit.
Facebook Connect coming up.
I know. Yeah. Well, the Facebook
call it
stuff.
Facebook Connect now.
I know. Actually, that's going to be the biggest thing coming up because we're probably going to hear all this
we're about
new
2 weeks
Quest
away.
Stuff, man. Yeah, exactly.
We're about 2 weeks away.
That's pretty exciting. I don't know. I feel like some people are super excited and some have this hatred now because of the login stuff.
Do you want to just get into that?
Sure. We can, yeah.
So let's get into, first of all, before Connect, first of all, we have some things that have happened in Germany where they're actually not selling Quest and stuff in stores right now. They've put a halt on that. They're in some talks with Oculus, Facebook, and the German authorities. The best breakdown that I saw about this, honestly, was German Rifter's tweet, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw this up there and read it because this kind of explained what's going on. Yeah. And because he's in Germany, obviously, German Rifter. He said it's a temporary preemptive stop of sales. Germany has a law that prohibits the coupling of data after mergers, meaning old headsets have to continue working even without a Facebook login. No final decisions and stuff have been made. They're still working on all that. But basically that's the problem. What they did was they sold you a headset that worked, and you didn't have to have a Facebook account. Right. And now all of a sudden you're going to have, down the road, you're going to have a Facebook account to even use that product. Right. And that's part of the problem. And I can understand why Germany did this. I think they have some more restrictive laws around this kind of stuff than we do here in the States. Yeah. But it makes sense. I mean...
Yep, I know.
How do you sell a product that later on down the road? And you ran into some of this. You were talking about some of the stuff.
I just told you this, and you were surprised. Well, I'm big into like the home automation stuff. Mm-hmm. I do like the home automation stuff. And I had a service that they had switched over here recently, and some of you may know what company this is, and I won't get into it. But they changed their service over, which I had used for probably 4 to 5 years, and made it subscription only. And it was forced. I mean, there was no choice. You basically got locked out of all their stuff if you didn't sign up for their subscription.
When you originally bought it, you didn't have to do that.
No, never. So absolutely not. And that was the point because I could buy any type of device, use it with it. It was its own setup, good to go.
Right.
But now they switch it. And I'm like, you know what? I understand, the back end takes money and stuff, but the figuring that business out in the beginning, you have to have that price into what you're selling and the service and stuff. Right. So I just didn't agree with it. So I actually dropped it and totally switched over to a whole different system. So I had to.
But you wasted all that money. All that money that you spent on those products you can't use anymore.
You can. Some of them do transfer over, but there were some that I lost. Some nice touch panels and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that sucks. And then we're running into some of this. You abandoned that. You went somewhere else. Aquatic Borealis just said, I abandoned Oculus. No way I'm being forced into Facebook.
There you go.
HP Reverb for me, baby. And that's,
that's what I just said.
We have HP Reverbs as well, but we didn't order those knowing this was, we pre-ordered those before we knew this was going to happen.
Sure we did.
So, I mean, there's both sides. We talked about it before. There's some people that are fine with it. There's some people like, no way, I'm out. Right. Like, see ya, Oculus. It's unfortunate that they chose to go that route.
I agree, and I feel like it is going to drive some people away.
It will.
It'll bring others in, though, because mass markets are what they're targeting. So I don't think they probably care about the people who've been in VR for a long time and don't want to see it switch.
Yeah, they want the mass numbers. So they're all about Facebook Connect this year and what they're going to announce and the new products. Sure. And, we talked about the leaks before with the headset. We had Sebastian on with the Quest 2 or whatever it's going to be. It looks to me now like it is going to be a second iteration of a Quest because now we're seeing the original Quest being discontinued.
Right, off stores.
Yeah, it's not being sold in stores anymore. Right. So that originally we thought, this is going to be a cheaper version of the Quest model where you're still going to be able to buy a Quest and you're still going to be able to buy this new Quest. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case anymore. I think that the original Quest is going to be done. I think that they're not going to make it anymore.
So what do you think? Do you think that this is a good decision? I mean, if it's the same headset, maybe just a little lighter, do you think... I mean, I get it's progression. I get that. And they're coming in with a cheaper price. I get that too. But do you think they should just kill off the other one already?
I think the big question is what benefits is this new there has to be some kind of advancement in this new headset, whether that be it's way more comfortable, whether that be it's got a little bit better screens, it's got better lens, a little bit better processor. We don't know for sure. The question mark is it's $299,
right?
So you can get the 64 gig model for $299, where the Quest 64 gig model was $399,
right?
So it's $100 cheaper and a new headset,
so it doesn't even compete unless they price gouge the last one and get rid of them,
and they probably are doing that with both of them, really. I mean, they're probably, not making as much money off of them hardware side because they know they're going to make it on software side.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big question mark. I think it hands down 100%. It has to be more comfortable. I mean, that has to be. Like, there's no way they're going to come out with this new updated version and it's either the same amount of comfort or less, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's no way. So I have to imagine it's going to be more comfortable. So that right there, I think, is going to be a big upgrade.
I would be surprised and impressed if we see big upgrades on this because of the price point. Because it's $100 cheaper, how are they going to come out with something now that is better than what they even released at $399 for $299?
I think they can do it. I think they can do it, honestly. I think that it's going to be slight improvements. We're not going to get an XR2 chip in this thing for $299, right?
No, I told you what I think. I think it's what's probably in this phone right here.
Yeah,
$855. And because it's mass produced. And I feel like
and it's not new anymore. It's a couple years old.
Yep. Get it cheap.
And we were kind of looking up prices, and it was looking like a Snapdragon 845 was only like $40 a chip or something. I don't know if those are right. These are just things I was Googling. Some people in chat actually might have a better breakdown of the price of what the processors are selling for, these Snapdragon chips. I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere around an 855. I think that it's not going to be massive performance improvements. It's going to be some performance improvements. The only thing that I have a big question mark is I don't think they're going to want to alienate the original Quest on software. So I think new games that are going to come out, they're still going to want those to work on the original Quest. So it can't be something that's so far advanced, I don't think, that's going to be...
push it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. So
I don't know.
Are we going to see then maybe graphical differences too? Texture differences and stuff.
Steven Sales makes a good point. It's going to be LCD. I almost guarantee it's going to be LCD, where the original Quest is an OLED panel, and LCD is going to be cheaper to produce. So there are going to be some...
And they should.
Some trade-offs.
They're looking for bottom of the market price. I mean, that's what you're going to get. I mean...
Everybody's going to LCD anyways. Sure. I mean, the G2's LCD, the Index is LCD, the Rift S is LCD. They're great panels. I mean, and supposedly the G2 has excellent black levels for being and I never really have too much problems with the black levels anyways, but VegaWare Studio says still restrictive for devs though, and I don't know.
It's tight. It's hard to get good performing, good looking games to get your ideas out there on paper, whatever, out to the people of what you think into these mobile processors is really hard. I mean, I totally get that.
Steven Sales said he thinks it's going to be the same 835 chip. I don't know.
I know. Maybe that's how they've gotten it so cheap too.
But they've done super impressive things for an 835. Sure. Honestly, some of the games that they have running on a Quest blow my mind that they're able to do on an 835 that's that old.
I agree.
So I'm really hoping they do 845, 855, something that's going to be a little bit performance improvement, and we're probably going to be blown away by the things they can pull off on that. We're going to get into we're going to get into some of the stuff about NVIDIA and some of the stuff they're doing with the DLSS, and we know Facebook has been working on some of that kind of stuff for a while, and if they're able to implement some of that stuff, which is basically an upscaling kind of trick way of doing things, maybe, I don't know. I'm really excited for Oculus Connect, or Facebook Connect, I'm sorry, but I don't know how I'm not going to call it Oculus Connect. But.
I don't know. Can't we all just still call it Oculus Connect?
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
we know what it is.
Yeah, and Risky Bit, maybe we'll just call it Connect. Sure. Just cut them both off. We'll just call it Connect.
I'm going to cut Facebook out anyway.
Yeah. So Risky Business says maybe still have an 835, but with the Rift S screen, slightly narrow FOV with higher refresh rates. I am thinking they're going to pull off 90 hertz, 90 frames per second. I think they're going to pull that off.
You think so?
I think so. Even though the Rift S is only 80, so I don't know.
On an 835, I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to be an 835.
Right, I agree. I feel
and Anakaze said not going to be 835 if the refresh rate increase. Rumors are true. Right. I honestly think it's going to be...
And if they're discontinuing the old one, I feel like it's a next gen. I feel like they're completely removed from the old one. Yeah. This isn't a 1.5. This is the second gen Quest coming.
I'm putting my money on something better than 835.
I hope so too.
That's what I'm going to put my money on.
And I think the purchase price, now that we've come so far from the Quest and when they bought those, that we're at a point where they wouldn't make that price. And I think it would be awesome. I do. I think it would be out to the masses. I will definitely buy one.
What do you think it's going to come out?
Man, I was really hoping for the, Connect drop, like, here's the new headset, go out and buy it right now on our website. I don't know if that's going to happen because we have heard the rumors of it coming out, 2 or 3 weeks after Connect. So it's probably right. I think it's going to be around the same time. I do.
My wife said you're too echoey.
I know.
We think the mic needs to be closer to you. I
It's
don't
the
know.
mic.
Yeah.
It's
So
omnidirectional.
the original leak, there was a leak a while back that said October 12th or October 14th or something like that. Early October. I think Connect is in like 2 weeks, so I don't know. I think it's going to get announced at Connect, and I think it's going to be available pretty shortly after. That's what my prediction is. I don't know, but I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be available at Oculus Connect. I think it's going to get announced. We're going to get all the details, and they're going to say, good news, it's available in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. I don't know. But that's
probably what's going to happen, would be my guess. It's not what I'm hoping for, but yeah, that's probably how it's
I think it'll be this year, though. And I think that's good because for a while they were saying that we had plans to get it out this year. That wasn't going to happen. It's going to be early next year. I think it'll be this year.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think that's good.
I think they were maybe not knowing with the whole coronavirus deal if that was all going to get pushed back from production and stuff.
Somebody mentioned in one of our videos about that I think it was on the last show, that there was an article about how they've greatly ramped up production and they were able to get a bunch of production stuff pushed through that they didn't think they were going to be able to. Real quick, Mamut giveaway still going on. I think there's 2 days left if you haven't signed up for the Mamut gun stock giveaway.
We were just playing with mine here last night, and I was showing him my weird setup where I have one upper and one lower and stuff, and I think you kind of liked it. I think you kind of did.
Yeah, I did. Mine are both mounted on the top. I might try switching it up, but I just have that muscle memory is getting
quicker
built in.
reloads, man. Just pull it right off the bottom. Yeah, it's so good.
I don't know.
I know.
So they're calling the new one the Oculus Point Reyes is what they're saying it is. That's the code name. That's the code name. It's just like Del Mar and other things. That's the code name. Obviously, it's an Oculus Go in the image. That's not going to be what it's going to look like. That's just.
I still think even the name's just a placeholder. Maybe that was the prototype. That's not going to be the final name. There's no way.
But it's showing up on Walmart's website, which is pretty crazy. This is going to the 64 gig is showing $299. The 256 gig is showing $399. So they dropped the 128.
Yeah. So I'm kind of happy with this, and I told you, the last one with the 64 and the 128, you're paying $100 for what, 128? That's a little ridiculous.
For double
come on, like even if I go buy an SD card, it's not that much.
Yeah,
more.
It was always a little weird to me, but
so I understand it now if it's that massive compared to the 64.
A little bit better.
Okay, sure, I can buy that. Yeah, I can at least buy that. But before, I'm like, why would I? There's no way.
So I don't know. That'll be interesting. One thing we talked about a little bit this morning is that one of the big question marks that's going to come up is, do I buy a Reverb G2 or do I buy an Oculus Quest 2? We're just going to call it Oculus Quest 2 for right now.
I feel like that's where everyone's kind of coming to a head that is getting into VR or wanting to upgrade into VR. Maybe has a CV1, maybe has a Vive. I mean, that's going to be the next step, because if we see great or better field of view out of this next Quest, and it becomes a tethered headset as well, would you buy that for $299, or do you put the money into a G2? And I know it's not going to be the same.
Right.
Obviously, these are apples and oranges. But the apple can kind of turn into an orange. So where does, you know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, they're not gonna drop Link. They're gonna keep Quest Link, so it's going to work. I guarantee as a PC VR headset as well. I would have to imagine. Wirelessly. Now that would be a big game changer.
Yeah, there's no
I don't think that's gonna happen yet, but it's gonna be a dual purpose headset, and if we can get some pretty good lenses. Some decent field of view and possibly some decent screens. It's hard to say we don't know yet enough to really compare the two. But I mean, we're PCVR guys at heart.
Much so.
But
we love the Quest just as much. So it has a heart. We have a heart place in our heart for it too. I mean, it's just as good. I don't know.
So for me, I mean, G2 is really going to be the headset to beat. I think.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see this. I don't think we're going to get another Rift. I still don't think we're going to get another Rift. I think this is going to be the Rift / Quest product, and it's going to do both things, and hopefully do both things pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. I think it's a very good competitor to it, though. I just do. I know they're totally different, and I think I kind of shocked you when I said it too. But I'm like, I do, because you're only going to buy one headset.
A lot of people, most people,
right?
Most
absolutely,
people. Not us. We're ridiculous.
Don't even get
that.
So I know. So you're going to buy one. So what are you going to do? Are you going to put all your eggs in one basket and go PCVR, which you also have to have a computer for? Or are you going to buy this next-gen Quest? You can start out with no PC. If you love it and you want to get into PCVR, then you invest in a PC, and you've already got that extra $200, $300 to put into a PC. So I don't know.
I think that's the big question. And what I'm thinking about doing, what will probably be my choice, is what Ann says. I think you should buy a G2 and a small Quest 2. So the 64 gig Quest 2.
I agree. But then, again, you're up to that $1,000 almost, basically. So.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, just like the DFO, G2 for me, deleted my Facebook account years ago. I won't go back. That's going to be a big question. That's going to be a big factor as well. But I feel
like it's going to be my go-to headset, even with an Index and Pimax sitting here.
Yeah,
it's going to be my daily driver.
Hopefully,
I really think.
I'm hoping that's the case.
Me too.
I talked to my wife because we have 2 Quests. She has a Quest and I have a Quest, and her biggest complaint is the comfort of her Quest. And
I know.
I don't have the deluxe audio strap on hers. I have the VR cover face padding. The front and rear helps a ton, but it's still. For her, she says, her favorite game is Box VR. And she really liked the rabbit game.
Down the rabbit hole?
Down the rabbit hole. She really liked that. She said the problem was it was hard to play it for a really long time, so it wasn't super comfortable.
I know. I agree.
My thought is, if this comes out and it's way more comfortable, we're probably going to sell her Quest, keep my Quest, and buy 2 of the new Quest headsets.
The only other thing, though, is everybody that buys a Quest buys tons of accessories for it, right? For comfort, for for everything.
I've got an extra at least $200 into my Quest.
So now you've got a $400 Quest with $200 worth of stuff. You've got a G2.
Yeah.
That's where I draw that line, With a G2, you've got everything you need. You've got the off-ear headphones, good comfort, nice interface, removable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the great controllers, basically like touch. I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to be the headset to beat for the next year or so.
I think those are going to be the 2.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be the 2 headsets that are the talk of the town, the G2 and the new Quest.
Yep.
I mean,
I
think that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
But
I do too.
Let's hop into a little bit of another topic that I'm pretty excited about, and that is the VR Trend magazine. I think this is fantastic. So this is available to start signing up for now, and basically the way they're doing it is through Patreon. You can start out, there's different tiers to where you can get just a regular digital copy, that you can move up tiers where you get a digital copy and a physical copy mailed to your house.
And is it only $1 for the digital?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I did the $8.99 tier, I think it is, and I get a physical copy. You get a poster every issue, and I think it's a bi-monthly magazine. Some people, I feel like some people are like, oh, this is cool, and some people are like, what do I want a magazine for? For me, it's the retro, everything's starting to come back now. The things from the 80s and 90s are coming back with vengeance right now.
Well, it's because it's experiences that people don't have, now that didn't get to live through that.
Yeah, there's kids now that are super into gaming and stuff, and they didn't know how exciting it was to wait for that magazine to show up in the mail and how much fun that was to flip through. And to me, there's a big thing of having something physical, like Gary's book the memory engine that we talked about.
Right.
My physical copy is going to be here on Monday, and I have the digital version, and I've been reading it some on there, but I'm really looking forward to that. I like to physically hold something. I like to flip through the pages. I like to see the colorful animations and articles and read them, and that's something that's for a while there has kind of gone away, and it may go away completely someday.
Risky business that I miss magazines with demo discs.
Some VR demo discs would be cool. That'd be cool.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
that really would. Somebody should do that.
Yeah, seriously. But I love this idea of the magazine. So if it is available, if you want to sign up for it, I'm really excited. I really want the physical copy. I just think it's going to be. I just think it's an awesome idea.
I still get Wired just because I like to read stuff in it.
I haven't had a magazine subscription, and I couldn't tell you how long.
And they're well produced.
Other than those magazines that show up that I have no idea where they come from, I've gotten, and usually it's stuff I don't even want. I throw it away. But
probably signed up for something.
Yeah, but I'm excited for this, and even the posters. I mean, how cool is that? Like a lot of the magazines back in the day used to give you posters, and
Steven
stuff.
Sales said, "What's the magazine called? Hard to read in the pic. It's called VR Trend."
Yeah, VR Trend. If you look it up, I don't know if we got the website. We meant to add
we
were running behind, but I think it's
description.
vrtrend.com is the magazine website, I believe.
Or VR Trend Patreon.
vrtrendmagazine.com. So we'll try to get that added in the description afterwards, but it's vrtrendmagazine.com. That'll take you right to the Patreon. You can look through. It says over 50 pages of content, community-driven articles, reviews, news, and more.
It is cool. So, I love it. I like reading something like that. It's different online. You know, you never know what to believe when it comes to reading stuff online. Anyways, it'll be a digital copy too. So if you don't want the physical copy, you can go that route as well. So I don't know. I'm excited about that. That's cool. Zuck date is gonna be scary.
Update.
I love chat.
Oh man, that's crazy. Do you want to get into a little bit of the RTX stuff, or?
Yeah, I know. I was totally not planning on getting one because we have decent graphics cards, man.
We got 2080s.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're great. I really have no problem running anything until Project Cars 3.
But I don't even.
Right, I don't think a graphics
I think
card's
that's going to be an
fix
update
that,
thing.
yeah.
I think that's going to be an update thing where they make it a little better. But.
It is. I'm not maxed out on my graphics card, but yeah, I didn't think I had a need to until we knew the prices were definitely cheaper and the gains you get on what a 2080 to the 3080s double the performance for.
That's what they're saying. I mean, it's like double.
$699.
So
I'm trying to think what the 2080 was. I know the
3080 is $699. The
$699.
3090 is going to be $1499, and the 3070 is coming in only at $499.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
And even the 3070, I think they're saying, is like almost double
it's probably
what a 2080 is or something. It's more. I mean, it's more powerful than a 2080. So,
I get it.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. The RTX 3090 is what I was originally really excited for, and I don't think I'm going to go that route just because of how massive it is.
Right.
If I do anything, I think I'm going to do the 3080 for a $699 price, and I think a lot of people are really interested in the 3080, the 3070. South Memphis did mention until the 3070 Ti. That is something that has been leaked as well, and they're talking about a 3070 Super, 3070 Ti. They don't know what it's going to be called yet, but that is supposedly going to have more VRAM.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's kind of weird is when you're looking at a 3080, you're looking at 10 gigabytes at GDDR6X.
Right.
So that's a little less than what I would like to see.
Sure.
And there's some optimizations that they're doing with this stuff that supposedly doesn't require as much VRAM.
Right.
But they're saying that the TIs are supposed to, I think I read like 16 gig or something like that.
Something ridiculous. Didn't it get upwards of like 20 for the 3090?
The 3090 is 24.
Yeah,
the 3090
that's
is 24
crazy,
gigs,
man.
but you're looking at $1,500. That's
nuts.
yeah. I mean, that's the Titan card series. I mean, that's the elite. For the people that.
It is. I get it.
I mean, it's not really directed towards the gamer, I don't think. But
no, which I kind of thought they would. I kind of thought they would try to get push another higher end series on people, but
so I mean, if you got the money for a 3090, by all means, I think that would be awesome. But Paradise Decay said, FOMO, you guys are so going to miss out.
I know. So, it's hard. We have to buy too much stuff. Yeah. Man. It's an issue.
So right now, the release price for the release date for the 3080 is looking like September 17th is what they're saying. Yeah. I don't know if it would be better for people that are interested in this to just go ahead and order around then, or wait to see what the TI stuff pricing and availability is going to be. I don't know.
How long are we going to wait for that? And then you're going to start to see them come into PC bundles and stuff, which will get the price down on them as well. So, I mean, can you imagine?
I think that's where the TI leak came from. Something from Lenovo was talking about a 20 or a 3070 Super, 3070 Ti with 16 gigs, and that was kind of where it came from. But and German Rifter talked about the virtual link port. So that was a big thing that I looked forward to because I don't like having like with my Index, I got 3 cords I got to plug in.
I agree.
If you could get that down to that one USB-C port that plugs directly into the graphics card. Yeah, even Valve abandoned it. Nobody's using it. So it sucks it sucks all the way around. It sucks none of the headset manufacturers started making it that way, and it was hard because if you make it strictly that cable, the older 1080 Ti people, 1080 people, they weren't able to use it.
Sure, they were abandoned. So you can't switch unless it's all out, and I get that.
Yeah,
Cheers, South Memphis.
Awesome. So he said that South Memphis said the third-party 3070, 3080 cards look better than NVIDIA cards. So
yeah, that can happen normally.
with all the different manufacturers and stuff, it'll be interesting. But I gotta imagine those are gonna be out September around same date. I don't know.
Shortly after, they'll probably just quickly after usually. Yeah. Usually they get their hands on them right when it drops and then they come out shortly after. I don't think they come out same day.
Yeah, and Anakaze is kind of what I was thinking. Getting a 3090 would require a new specific build around it, which bigger case, you got a 3-slot card.
Yep.
So I mean,
more power.
Yeah, you got I think it's like 1,000 watt power supply, I think is what they recommend for this thing. So I'm excited for the 3080. I didn't think I would necessarily update Brad Collins. Thank you, sir. And now I'm considering it because I mean our 2080 cards aren't worthless. Obviously, the prices that they're going to sell
great
for
cards, dude. Come on,
the prices are going to drop though because of the price of entry to a 3080 is pretty low.
Why would you buy a 2080? I get
so it's going to go lower, but I think that it's really promising, and they're also I don't know where it is in my notes, but
Oh,
the DLSS
yeah.
2.1. So I
right.
believe the
say.
30 series cards are going to run DLSS 2.1.
Yep.
The 20 series, I believe, and if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, ran the 2.0. And so they're saying the DLSS 2.1 is actually going to be able to benefit VR.
Sure.
So we're going to see benefits from this in VR. We're going to be able to see ray tracing probably in VR with the 30 series cards that we wouldn't.
Yeah. So it's kind of like an upscaling is how I take it, right? Upscales to like could double, so 4K to 8K, stuff like that. Are we going to see it in VR? Man, I don't know. I just feel like there's so much information that we have to compress and uncompress that I don't know. I would think it would be tough, but if they're doing it internally on the card, maybe they can. I mean, that would be awesome. Don't get me wrong. But
so Staffan Anderson said 750 to 850 for a 3090 watt power supply. I was thinking that was for the 3080, but I guess I could be wrong.
It's still a lot, man.
Yeah, it's still a lot of power.
We're running our whole PCs on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just the graphics card.
So the DLSS stands for Deep Learning Super Sampling, and they're using basically an AI sort of a way of
to fill in pixels or something.
To fill in to smoothen edges on pixels, and I mean it's an upscaling is what it is. And this is something that I mentioned, Facebook has been working on for Quest that I think if they could get all that working right where they can upscale, I think that's going to have
But what I don't get is, to say that it's going to be used in VR, I understand it and they say they use it on monitors now, but you're only doing that for one image. So then how is that going to work when you're doing two separate images? I don't know. I mean, if they can pull it off, that's awesome. But I just don't know if it can be implemented in VR. I don't, but it'd be cool. Be awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think there's some I mean, they said, with this 30 series lineup that this is the biggest generational leap they've ever had.
Right.
When the 20 series cards came out, nobody was really that excited about it because there wasn't that big of a jump from the 10 series to the 20 series where we are getting a pretty big jump from the 20 to the 30.
Yep.
So
huge,
I don't. Yeah,
I know, and for less money from what it was from the last series.
Yeah,
so,
and Mepper said, "How hot does that card run if it uses that much power?"
You actually have to have a new cooling now. It's called iceberg cooling.
You got to put dry ice.
Dude, how? I mean, come on, the heat coming off that thing.
But they do have some different cooling where they're having a suction and a blow fan, and so that's what they talked about in the presentation. That they say they're keeping them cool. That the fans that are built into
yeah, but where does the heat go? Yeah, the card's cool, but it just
you still got to push it out of the box.
I'm gonna plug that thing in right outside. Screw putting it in the case, man.
You got your own air conditioning unit just for your graphics card.
Man.
Yeah, so I'm a lot more excited about this than honestly I thought I was going to be. I think
I know it's debatable now for me. I didn't, there's just too much other stuff that I want, but now it's like it's at that price point.
But look at these reflections and water, and man, ray tracing would be ridiculous in VR.
Yeah, but okay, these are all in flat games.
These are all flat games.
That's the thing. Who's doing this in VR yet?
Not yet.
Nobody.
Nobody.
But now that the graphics cards are there, maybe there's enough ceiling there that they could push it.
They're saying it's going to happen. I don't know.
I know. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
VR,
so NVIDIA will be responsible for melting the polar ice caps.
Yeah, exactly.
Liquid cooling required. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be
seriously. Yeah, actually, I don't have a liquid cooler on this one.
Yeah, I don't either. We did on our ones. Doug
Pleasure,
Black,
man.
Yeah, thanks for subbing. We really do appreciate it. We really do. Yeah, it's really awesome. So
we're excited to get out and play some VR actually together for once. And
yeah,
I said I got 2 rooms we can play Contractors, man. But we
they were playing last night. They were playing last night.
I told you were going to bed. And I'm like, I'm going to get play.
Well, we went out. We went out last night on the boat and out for dinner and stuff, and then we just all came back here and we were hanging out. And it was I'm an early to bed guy, early to rise. It was hard.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I would have loved to play last night.
I know.
Hopefully they had a good time.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure it's Contractors.
Yeah, another thing that I'm pretty excited about is Synth Rider's O-Shape collab.
Yeah,
I think this is really cool, and I don't know if they've done this before. I heard something about this is the second one they did. I'm not sure. I've never played the collab or anything, but I'm excited about this because Synth Riders is a game that I like. It's not a game that I love, that I go to all the time. Some people do, but I think the combination of the two of these games together, and I don't know how they're going to do this, if it's going to switch back and forth or be just interlaced together where it's half Synth Riders, then you got to strike a pose to get through the thing on O-Shape.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool idea, though.
I know. The trailer doesn't show. It kind of does a cut scene.
It kind of goes back and forth a little bit. Yeah, the trailer
so
confuses me a little bit about how they're going to do this.
Me too.
But I think it was cool. I wanted to mention it just because I'm looking forward to playing this, and I think it's going to be really cool.
It is cool, though.
But
just curious to see like a seamless playthrough. That's what I kind of wanted to see.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So I don't know when that comes out either. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Me either. You don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So
it's cool. I got my workout last night though because Sean decided he wanted to try the bungee.
If you watch the old pistol whip video Tyler did, he actually has what is a yoga bungee, right?
Yeah.
It straps to the ceiling.
Yeah.
You put it around your waist, and you can bounce on this.
Float.
I mean, it's
Right.
And I've never tried it. I've seen him do it. I've seen the thing, but we never had time to put me in it and actually try it. So I played some pistol whip in it, and it was. I don't even know how to explain it. You almost got to try it because it was ridiculous. And
it was zero gravity-ish, but it keeps you centered in the same location.
So I could literally, like, when a wall's coming in pistol whip, I could literally bounce way out of the way, and then it would pull me back. It was weird, but it was really cool. And it wasn't really set up for me because I'm lighter than you are. I don't, you're weigh a little bit more.
You buy them by
you're taller
weight.
and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but it was still a lot of fun, and it was a killer workout because you're moving all around, but it was really cool.
Yeah, it's a little nuts.
I'm a big fan of the new Pistol Whip, the one song in the new update. I really like that one song, and I still want them to expand their library of genres and stuff. And they did a little bit in this update. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it was fun to watch you. I should have recorded because the whole time he's just like laughing.
I was dying.
Couldn't figure out like how I was even doing this in the video.
So Me Water said a Johnny jump up for Kona, and that's what I said. I felt like the baby bouncers. That's what I felt like. I was like in this baby bouncer, and I could bounce all around, but it was awesome.
With a full harness on.
Yeah, I really because when I watched Tyler do it before in the video, I was like, dude, like why didn't you do the face plant? Why didn't you do the face plant?
Yeah, right.
Like straight drop down, do some sweet moves, Mission Impossible style or something. And I was like, dude, I'll do it.
Yeah, like
I got in there.
Everyone thinks that.
I was like, it's no big deal. I'll do the face plant. No way.
Yeah.
It was way too sketchy. With a VR headset on your face, you can't see the floor.
Hit the ground,
You feel a little bit top heavy. So when you face plant, you probably wouldn't hit the floor because it is more balanced than it feels.
You saw me. I showed him. You could do like the zero gravity push-ups.
Yeah.
So like you can suspend from it and like do push-ups with like one finger.
Why didn't we get video of that? I don't know.
You don't want that shown.
Probably not. It would have been funny. That would have been like a Patreon.
I got to watch you. You had the VR headset on.
Oh man,
my gosh.
it's so ridiculous.
It is. Anyways.
So ridiculous. Seriously. There are no moon experiences. Yeah, it'd be great for a zero-G.
True.
Like, what was that one game where you can move through the space shuttle, like the spaceship and stuff? There's been a couple of them.
Oh, Mission SS.
Yeah, stuff like that. That'd be really
whatever.
cool. That'd be really cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, talking about Cyberpunk 2077, though, there is another VR Cyberpunk. How do you say this? NYX? It's NYX.
NYX.
NYX?
Yeah.
It's a VR MMO RPG.
Yep.
I believe this is in Kickstarter right now, right?
It is, or it's coming to Kickstarter, or it is in Kickstarter. I forget where I read it.
Yeah, I think it is in Kickstarter right now. I don't know where I put it in my notes. My notes are a mess.
I will say the trailer is very well produced.
Yeah, the trailer looks pretty good.
I know we don't have audio. Well, I guess we kind of could have audio, but it does. The actual trailer does look pretty good.
Yeah.
Lone Echo too. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I'd be really curious to see what actual gameplay looks like. The assets and stuff. It looks like they're doing some cool things with particle effects, lighting and stuff. I'd be interested. It's very pixelated, and it kind of hides it a little bit in the darkness here. But
yeah, it's the very like the what do you call that?
The assets.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not like it's not like lo-fi.
Right.
Like lo-fi is the one Cyberpunk game that I'm super excited about, and it's more detailed, realistic assets and stuff, environments. Where this is more of the cartoonish kind of characters and stuff. But it looks pretty good. They're saying it's going to cost around $30 when it launches, but they're not saying until 2022. So So this is a ways away. So but it's supposed to be an open world. It's set in the year 2085. After contaminated spacecraft drastically altered the planet's atmosphere, you're supposed to be exploring vast corporate-run super cities built above the remains of forgotten past. Go toe-to-toe with enemies, melee weapons. You saw swords and stuff. There's a bunch of different
So I'm sure they've been working on this for a while, though. But do you think with lo-fi will drop well before this?
Hopefully.
Do you think this will compete then with that?
I don't know.
Feel like lo-fi is going to have so much content that I don't know. I mean, this would really have to.
I think for VR, the cyberpunk world is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to beat lo-fi.
Right, I agree.
Well,
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think it looks kind of cool. Maybe it's not a Kickstarter.
The cyberpunk is made for VR. Like the headset lives in that time almost.
I'm surprised that we don't have more. I mean, there are some projects, cyberpunk projects, but I'm surprised that we don't have more. Honestly.
Low poly, is that what you're thinking of? Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Low poly.
Yep. But I think it looks cool. I'd be curious to see some actual gameplay, not the trailer, kind of as always.
Right. And I haven't read anything about a Quest.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no way.
Yeah.
I guess.
Quest 2, man, that thing's going to be a beast. What are you talking about?
Oh gosh, here we go.
There's going to be a 3090 in the new Quest.
A 3090.
You're going to strap a 3090 to the back of the head.
The power cord's going to be this big.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, dude. Like, the amount of power and heat that thing puts out, you will be sweating within a minute.
Sweet. We do have some mugshots to throw up here. I love the a couple people posted mugshots with Gary's book, the Memory Engine, and
I think 2 of them.
Yeah, and German Rifter got the new Rendered Reality coffee mug.
He did.
He got the new one. I don't even have that yet.
Actually,
I don't even have that yet. I want it so bad.
I'm still waiting on my stuff. I haven't even got stuff yet.
Yeah, you ordered the hats and stuff. I was waiting to order some stuff till we got back from Ohio. That way, hopefully it'll be there's the new mug. Oh, so pretty. That's cool.
Here we go.
That's cool.
What about Hams, man?
Hams is sweet too, actually, and also Greg's VR's mug.
Yep,
I don't have a Greg's VR mug yet either.
That's true.
He's got his own mugs now too, so I got some stuff I got to order. So
he's got me wanting to do some karting. But that Honda, the 2+4 that you drove in Project Cars 3.
Yeah, it was like some concept car.
That was
pretty
crazy looking, like a digital dash, like a glass dash.
There's some cool stuff in Project Cars 3. I might have to get it now because Tyler wants me to race with him. He always wants me to race with him.
It's so good. It's so much fun.
I did want to talk real quick about Jupitergrad. Supposedly, a lot of the people were pretty upset with that game that there was no index support, and everybody's like, "What?"
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
or it's coming, right?
Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
So the index support is coming on Monday for Jupitergrad. So if you were upset about that, that should be taken care of because that's a great game. Honestly, it's a really fun game. I really do like that game. So I look forward to checking it out on the index. Index support is coming on Monday. So
and I think I've got you liking the index controllers better now. Maybe.
Oh yeah, you got one sitting here? No, you moved.
Oh no, I took them off because I gave them to you.
He did the 3D print the adapters and make them a little bit thicker. And I don't have real big hands, but for me, it just moves the placement of my thumb more comfortably onto the thumbstick because I could never understand why they didn't put the thumbstick where the touchpad is. That's to me, that's where it felt like it should go.
And it spaces you out a little bit. It backs up your grip a little to where now it feels
more comfortable.
Oh,
it really does. It really does.
I highly recommend them. Just get them printed by somebody. You can
order them on Etsy or anything.
Yeah,
like
you
that
probably
too.
can. Ours actually though are the ones sent from Mamut, which have the adapters on the bottom, so the magnets mount right to those. Yeah, which is amazing. And I do have a little info that they are working on an STL print file if you have the Apto gun stock or whatever for the G2 controllers.
Oh yeah.
So initially at launch, they're trying to have that ready so that they can push that out to people.
Mad
Wookie. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers. Do you need more coffee, by the way?
You can fill me up a little bit. I'll take a little more.
I can actually do it for real this time instead of fakely through the screen, right?
Whoa, it sounded just like the super
That's
chat.
awesome, man.
I was like, did another one come through? That was funny. That kind of messed me up. So you were telling me a little bit about this, and we don't have a ton of info, but this HBO. So HBO is doing something again a little bit in VR. They have, is the new show called Lovecraft Country Sanctum?
Yeah, it's an odd name. And this is more of an experience inside of VR chat for the series, which it kind of follows it, right? So when they come out with the show, they're going to have an experience to go along with it, stuff, an episode.
I think it's out. I think it might be out.
Yeah, this was just out, came out a couple days ago, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of a cool concept. I kind of like this only because, if you're a huge fan of a series, you're thrown into this world and room with other fans.
And you actually have to figure some things out. It's a little bit of a puzzle.
And stuff. Yeah, they go along with the show. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like an interactive portion to the show, which I really like.
I just like that HBO is doing this kind of stuff. I like the entertainment industry to kind of get into some of this stuff and use the power of VR to kind of hurl you more into the environment.
With Westworld.
Yeah.
So we know HBO is like super on board, and they always have.
And it's a little bit different because Westworld was its own game. That was made by Servius. That was like a legit game. This is more of mini experiences that will follow along the series, as far as I understand. And so as new episodes come out, there's new experience in VR chat that, in this video, you see there's a ton of people in there. So you go in there with friends and other people.
Yeah, it's really cool, though. Yeah. Clues must be around, stuff to explore. Yeah, there are with other people. I think it's cool. I think it's great.
I think it's a good idea. So
VR chat scares some people away, though.
Well,
it can.
It can. And it didn't used to run that well. They've done some improvements and stuff. But so this is what HBO is saying. They're saying, welcome to Sanctum, one-of-a-kind virtual reality experience that celebrates and complements Lovecraft Country in the Garden of Eden. The first of 3 events inspired by the world of the series. Travelers will wander through a beautiful interactive garden and find pathways to immersive spaces crafted by visual artists. And I can't say most of their names. Well, David Alabo, I can say.
Oh, there you go.
Devin Shimoyama and Agnes Agdabison. I don't know. Anyways, that's yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I do.
I think we're gonna see more and more of Hollywood going this route. As
well, I always said they had that really early. Mr. Robot, where you could watch even. And even that was like unbelievable for the time.
Yeah.
So this is now even putting you inside worlds. Given I wish the worlds and the environments maybe were more like on set or looked a little bit more like of what the show might be.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's inside VR chat, so you're in the limits of that.
Right.
But
cool
though. Yeah, I really do like it though.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I really wish though that they had this for like Westworld. So like you could go into the Westworld game and then they had like a lobby that was like in the world at the time of that show that just dropped or something. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, it would be so
But they're onto something here.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
agree.
they're onto something.
I totally love the concept of doing this with people.
As the show progresses.
Yep. And they've done that before. Who was it? There was a developer for Xbox when the original Xbox One dropped. There was supposed to be a game that had a show that went along with it. It was like a time, like you froze time something, I forget.
I'm not sure.
But I thought that was like the coolest concept, but it dropped.
Yeah.
And they never followed up with it really. I mean, they probably did 4 or 5 episodes of it, but I don't think anybody got into it. But I think in VR, you're living that experience.
Right.
And that was like Westworld for me. I played the game and was like, oh, this is really cool. I don't get it. And then I watched the show and I'm like, oh my God, I've lived this.
Yeah.
I lived this experience.
Yeah, you did it backwards.
I'm literally
from
getting
what a lot of people
goosebumps
does.
again from it, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's something you can't recreate.
Well, I think Hollywood
cool.
has been kind of down for a while. You know, numbers are down, movie sales are down.
Yeah.
I think that VR is the tie-in that can potentially bring all that back.
Sure it does.
It's a whole new medium, you know, as
big
more
screen.
things
They're
sell.
selling movie tickets, man. I mean, like, bring the theaters back that way, or
Right.
bring movie sales back that way.
I mean, theaters are really dead now.
Sure
I mean, they were already dead, but they're really dead now.
Except I did just see the local theaters showed you could rent a theater for like $100 or something privately.
How many people are you allowed to put in there?
10.
For the whole theater?
Yeah, because it's only so many people per group or whatever.
Probably.
But how sick would that be to go play games or something? Like, oh my gosh.
And like Mewater said, another step toward mainstreaming VR. And that's what it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
And shoes.
And sound shoes. With speakers in the soles.
Yep.
We get into this, man. I'm like, I don't, come on. Like, I don't feel like, who was it that initially put this
So this
out?
was tested, I think, that initially talked about. They talked about these and then they put out a video on them. And they're not specifically designed for VR, but they do talk about VR. Even in the trailer, they show you know VR as well too. And they're basically sound drivers in shoes. Yes. So you get tactile feedback, just kind of like the sub packs and stuff like that, but it's in your feet.
But why couldn't I just go out and buy like a $300 subwoofer, hook it up to my PC,
shake
run
your
the
whole
low
house?
End? Heck yeah!
Well, some people live in an apartment. You know, you can't shake your whole apartment.
Neighbors want to hear it too, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. And I know, I think it was in the tested thing that they were talking about that, like, other people in the house, like when you're walking with these, they can kind of hear it in the floor a little bit.
Like
and
an impact.
It's still weird. I don't know. I think they're trying, I don't know. Haptics is a market that I think needs tested a lot more. I think haptics need to expand. I don't know if shoes are the way I was thinking that it needs to go, but
my kind of haptic feedback is you sitting beside me with a Nerf gun shooting me while I'm playing Contractor.
Yeah.
That is my dream. Like, just time it up, man. Like, if you hear shots, just pull the trigger out. Like,
we
that
could
would work.
We could totally do that.
I mean, other than that, I just don't like the extra step of suiting up.
Yeah.
This, though, isn't as bad, maybe, because you're putting on shoes maybe anyways.
I've never tried this, I mean, it's something you'd have to try. And obviously, you know, you could wear these around playing earbud music, walking around. You feel the bass a little bit more. I can kind of understand it for music and
I think
stuff.
they're what, Bluetooth?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
whatever it is now or something. But yeah, I don't know. It's different. I'm not gonna
risky business. He said those shoes would be great for tickle torture simulator.
What's this now?
I don't know. But that's awesome. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, and Trevor Jones said it's not a VR peripheral, which it's really not, but they did show VR in the trailer.
Exactly.
So, that's what, you know, for us, that's what kind of piqued my interest.
Sure.
But I just don't know that I would use these. I don't know.
I don't know either, man. I don't know.
I don't know that this isn't the haptic feedback I'd really be looking for. But
no, I know what is, but I can't talk about it.
Yeah, I think what about a racing simulator when you're on the pedals? And I think they talked about that a little bit on one of the tested podcast shows a while back. You know, what about the tactical feedback of feeling the vibration in the pedals and stuff like that? I think that could have some potential.
Yeah, that wouldn't be as bad.
For some games I wouldn't understand it. Like, I don't know. Like, I
don't
mean,
know.
so there's
The base
also
shakers might be better though for something like I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's other ways of doing it, but and when you get to haptics, it does weird tricks to your brain too. Like the reason I say this is because when I first got the sub pack, I was excited to play Contractors, and I was like, I can't wait to feel the gunshots. You know, what I mean, you don't. It's not, it's not placed or anything like B haptics. It's not advanced like that, but to feel the vibrations and the impact from the, the resonation of gunshots.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So that was cool. But the problem with that is I played with that. And that every time I got shot, I looked behind me.
Right.
Because it was on my back. So I constantly thought I was getting shot from behind when I wasn't.
You're going to that reference point, thinking that the shots are coming
so
from
if
there,
I'm wearing these shoes, I'm going to look down every time I get shot because I'm going to think I'm getting shot in the shoes. I'm like, why is somebody shooting me in the feet? You know what I mean?
I know. It's hard. Unless you're wearing the full suit, there's going to be nothing better than that. So
yeah, and that, again, that's another step of,
it's the entry point of, price
if I got 45 minutes to play VR, I don't want to take 10 minutes to strap into a suit. I don't know.
I know.
I wanted to advance. Haptics for VR especially need to advance. I think it's a huge market once they can figure it all out, and it's easy in and out.
What about just like electric shock solenoids on you?
Oh yeah, that sounds great. That sounds fantastic. Sounds fantastic.
Stick them on.
Yeah. Have you seen this? I don't even know if this is even worth, really talking about. The Skoda Time Machine.
Oh yeah, I kind of thought this was cool.
I thought this was kind of neat.
Yeah, I do too. That's like the idea of it, the imagery, all of it.
Have you even heard of a Skoda before?
Sure, I haven't.
I was like, really? I never have. But I don't even know where these cars originated from. But I believe this is on SideQuest. It's it's a Czech automobile manufacturer. They started in 1895. So you can basically go into VR and you learn about the history. So maybe I need to do this because I don't know much about the history of these cars. So go into VR and you kind of learn about their 100-year past. And you just go through and you learn about drive
the car through the museum, kind of like.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's basically a VR museum. Yep. How it takes you through time of the cars they've built, and
I think it's great, man. It looks awesome.
I mean, it's another. I mean, the bad thing is eventually we're going to lose real museums and real things because of all this kind of stuff, which is a little bit sad.
I don't think you will because everybody still wants to touch the real thing, and
you're not allowed to touch anything nowadays.
Smell it.
You can't touch anything. You can't breathe.
I understand that, but if you but if you go through a museum, like you're there, you can't. Some of it you can't tell, like. Just like they were saying, like the smell of like a magazine or a book. You know what I mean? You don't get that through digital. The same concept with an old car. I have an old car. It has an old car smell to it. Like not a bad smell. It's just old
they smell
leather
different.
and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
smell
just
different.
Totally different. So
well, once we get as VR advances and you get the little thing that sprays scents on your face.
They're not allowed to, man.
Old car smell. So the other thing that's actually really cool about this though is they have a 3D printable steering wheel file that I believe your touch controllers actually go into the 3D printable steering wheel and you use that to drive around. I think that's pretty cool. And this is on SideQuest now. It's available now. I don't know if anybody's tried this.
Well, I guess the steering wheel would feel better. Yeah.
Well, you can hold the steering wheel anywhere. You wouldn't have to hold on to the Quest controllers that they're mounted. You could G-Wagon drive it.
I could take my old Triumph steering wheel and just tape my controllers to it, basically.
You could.
Not a bad idea, actually.
You could. Yeah. I mean, you could tape them to the Logitech steering wheel.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
I mean, it's kind of a cool concept, but this is available, and I think the history aspect of it, I think it's a good idea. I think we should see a whole bunch. I mean, for learning, we already know VR for learning.
Sure. It's great.
I mean, you're going to learn way more, in something like this in VR than you would reading this in a textbook of something you don't know about. My feet are ridiculously ticklish. I don't think I'd be able to. Still talking about the shoes. Yeah, right. Risky business is not getting the VR haptic tickler shoes.
Nothing
He's not
beats the
them.
smell of a real mummy.
A real mummy?
Couldn't imagine.
Jeez.
I know.
Ham for the win said the Quest will be smelling you.
My God,
it'll be tracking everything. Even the way you smell after playing VR and sweating.
How much perspiration.
Yeah, it records that.
Let's not.
It totally records that and gives it back to you. I wouldn't be surprised.
I know.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Still.
But yeah. So, I don't know. Love the mugshots, though.
Right? I know. I know.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all we had. We burned through all that, huh?
Yeah, we've kind of rolled through quite a bit.
That's right. We're doing good on our hour mark. We try to stay in an hour, but man, is it hard.
Yeah, it really is hard sometimes.
Sadly, it's like this whole Facebook thing is kind of getting to me more and more information that gets dropped on it, changing Connect, the name of it, the login stuff. Like, don't strap me to it, man. Like,
yeah. It sucks.
Don't force me.
It sucks, but what are you going to do? I mean, I'm going to buy the new Quest because
get a G2. Don't use an Oculus headset. Like,
yeah, but there's so many cool things that come out for the Quest and stuff that I won't get to experience.
Oculus doesn't have anything that's high-end VR, right? They have nothing high-end.
What?
Come on.
Medal of Honor?
Not games.
Oh.
Not games. Headsets.
No, not PC
What do
VR
they
wise.
have
No, they
that's
don't.
PC VR headset that is high-end, like 4K
Well, they got the
panels,
early
nothing?
Neuralink prototypes built into Quest 2.
Oh, you mean they're just going to beam it right into us
Yeah.
instead of... Yeah,
It's going to have little
exactly.
micro drill
Oh my
bits that
God,
drill into your
don't
head while
even-
you're playing.
I know.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just excited. I mean, it sucks, and I don't even have a Facebook, like a legit
Right,
Facebook,
right,
you know?
right. I know.
And that could get deleted at some point, but I've had it for
Right.
like 5 years. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see what happens. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
I don't love it. I don't love it, but I'm still excited for the next Quest. I'm still excited to see what happens in Connect this year.
Yep.
2 weeks. You're going to be able to watch it inside Oculus venues, which,
Right,
again,
which is good.
is weird because I don't think venues is on the Rift.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So you're
Yeah,
still
true.
locked to Quest
You're
in a
still
sense.
set, yeah.
It's still weird. I don't know
know.
why they do that stuff,
I
but
know. Whatever. I mean,
yeah.
at least we'll get to halfway be there, right? Maybe they'll have some close cameras on stage.
Yeah,
or
I'm still. I
something.
mean, we're gonna get probably some AR announcements. We're gonna get
Yep.
the new Quest announcements.
Yep.
Hopefully, some new game announcements.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to know in comments, chat, whatever.
What do you think?
Are you buying the Quest? Like, who is gonna buy the new Quest? Even if you have a Quest now, you don't have a
That's
Quest.
the hard. If you have a Quest, I don't know. I don't know if you do.
For me-
it's not going to be probably that much of an upgrade.
I don't know. That's what
Unless
it's
you're
gonna
in it all
depend
the
on.
time.
That's what it's gonna depend on.
I know.
Comfort, specs.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. I know.
I still think people are gonna buy it. I think it's gonna be a hot item. I think
I
it's
do.
gonna if it's out before the holiday season, it's gonna be sold out.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna sell like hotcakes. I
Yeah.
mean, because there's plenty of people that don't care about the Facebook. I mean, mainly the people that
Right.
are gonna be super upset about it are the long time or
And
the
most of
early
these,
adopters.
like the younger generation that is
They
going
don't
to want
care.
it for Christmas, they've been on Facebook since they were born.
Yeah,
so
they
what do
don't
they
care.
care? Yeah,
They don't
exactly.
care.
No,
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I know.
So Risky Business said Best Buy has Notify Me
Notify.
option for 3080 and 3090.
Nice.
Yeah.
Breaking news. No, that's awesome because
Yeah.
that will be one of the first ways to get it. For
Yeah.
Sure.
And I don't know. Are you gonna buy one?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I want one.
I have too much stuff I'm already getting.
Yeah.
And on top of it, I told you I'd rather put the money into a motion rig for a sim rig.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I don't know.
That's
I
true.
just don't have the need yet until I see these big performance drops where I'm like, this could look amazing, but it can't because I'm maxed out.
Yeah.
Until then, I don't know.
So FX Node said, I don't think we would have the Quest if it wasn't for Facebook. Probably true. He said, but it's still annoying. FK Gaiman said, I'm buying it. Talking about the Quest. Galaxy Me Ifwa 24 has said, I am. He's buying the
Sure.
Quest. Or they're buying the Quest. Me Waters, I'll be buying one for the family, which is, I
Right.
mean, for
Yeah,
$2.99,
yeah.
that's a giftable, I mean, an expensive giftable item, but it's doable.
It's not that bad.
$2.99
People buy
is
Switches
easier.
like it's nothing.
Yeah, and they may still even do sales from time to time where it is $250.
Sure.
You know, they've
Sure.
done that with the Rift and stuff. And
Yep. Price break in a couple games or
Yeah,
something for
yeah.
holidays next year. Yeah. I know.
so Ed Kiyosada said, I'll buy a new Quest. It looks like a lot of people are buying them.
Yeah.
Hussein X, I'm buying. I moved too far. Where did I go? Hussein X said, I'm buying the new Quest. It's about time. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people.
Second Quest, local multiplayer.
Yeah.
I know there are a bunch of games that you can do that too.
Yeah,
So,
Anakaze said
some
it really
cool stuff.
depends on what the newer Quest is, which that's kind of the boat for me.
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean,
see
if
what
we're
they
not
do.
gaining anything by it
Yeah,
other than a
right.
price drop, then I don't know why I would.
okay, what if it's just weight? What if it's just like 70%
Better balanced, less weight, better
Yeah,
balanced. I
right.
mean, that falls into the comfort aspect.
and it's cheaper?
And like I said, it's got to be more comfortable. But
right, it does.
I'm hoping that's not the case because I don't want it to be the exact same headset, just more comfortable.
Right.
I mean, obviously it needs to be more comfortable, but if that's the only benefit we're getting, I'm gonna be really disappointed. I'm
It'll
gonna be
be-
honest.
I feel like it may go that way just because of the price.
I don't know. I hope not.
don't know,
I don't
man.
think so.
I know.
I think it's gonna be an upgrade. I think it's gonna be an upgraded Quest. I think it's gonna be a little bit better in a couple different ways. So
Yep.
we'll find out.
Yep.
But
I know.
yeah, and FK Gaming said I think it'll be sort of like the Oculus Lite instead of a Quest 2, which that's
Well,
I mean
we
it's
talked about.
it's very
I know,
possible.
We thought that early on. But
I don't know. I just don't know. Stephen
Being that they're
Jeffrey said
discontinuing.
buying it for sure.
So everyone
Oh
knows.
yeah, Stephen Anderson. Good point. So the G2 is actually going to be having better lenses than what all of the early prototypes that have been out. To Sebastian and everything.
The same that's in the original Reverb, right? Same one
What?
in the G2.
Well, the
Same.
Index. So
Oh, yeah.
So they're actually made
Yeah,
by
you're right.
Valve, but
Yeah,
the
yeah,
lenses
yeah.
that are in there now
You're right.
aren't the ones that they're keeping
Right,
for
right,
the models that all of us are going to be getting for the pre-orders. It's
Yeah,
actually
the ones
supposedly
coming.
even better,
Sure.
even better lenses. That's what they're saying. So
Right.
I don't know. That's good.
I don't know what's to be better because everything I've seen and heard.
Yeah,
from
everybody said
Sebastian,
the ones that were in there were
Yeah,
really
were
good.
great, so
Pretty
I
good
don't know.
sweet spot, good clarity.
Right.
Not a lot of
I
not
know.
a lot of the issues that the Index had with some weird
Right.
stuff. But yeah, I don't know.
God,
But
not
I
as
mean,
much
that's good
God
news.
rays.
It's good news.
I know.
So, I mean, hey, bring it on.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I just want to see the
It's coming
G2
anyway,
for
so
myself.
whatever.
I just want
yeah.
to see. Yeah. New Paradise Decay. New Quest comes with a free Facebook account.
Yeah, sure it does.
Buy a Quest, get a free Facebook account.
And a tracker.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting it. I think it's going to sell like crazy. I mean, unfortunately, the Facebook has created a little bit of a divide in the VR market right now that people are mad at them, and
Yep, I know.
some people don't care. But yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, so Doug Black, it's kind of with you. I can't imagine the new Quest will be a huge upgrade at that price point.
Cheers.
And I think I'm just wishful thinking, maybe. I don't know. I just really want to see a bump in a couple different things. That's what I want to see.
I know. It's something.
And
yeah.
either way, G2 is going to be, I think the release date is right around early October is what they're saying.
I'm not going to have a need, though, for this next gen. If I have a G2 and the old Quest, I don't know if I'm going to see a need to have this next gen one.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. If it's a good upgrade, sure, I will.
I just have a problem.
I
just have a problem that I want to buy every headset.
I don't know. It's for science, man.
Yeah,
we have to test it for science.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah.
I know.
FK Gaming said, "Do you think the new Quest will get delayed?" I don't. I think it's actually going to be earlier than what we thought.
Me too.
Honestly, I don't think because really there's no way to delay it at this point because they never announced when it was supposed to come out.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
I think we're gonna have it for holiday.
Yeah,
I think it'll be out for
Science
November
Teacher.
probably.
That's what I think too.
At the latest.
Maybe early.
At the latest. Yeah.
Full color pass through. That would be. I could see that happening. Full color pass through.
I agree.
And free home security monitoring.
Yeah.
So funny.
All right.
I love it.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, honestly, it's been great. Me and Tyler don't get to hang out together and do the show.
Cheers,
Usually
man.
we're 500 miles away. We can't go like this. And wow, that was probably really loud. Sorry for your eardrums. I do apologize. Yeah, but we appreciate everybody being here. Every show, I think there's a couple new faces that I haven't seen before in chat. And we
Absolutely,
really appreciate.
Man. Yeah, new subs and stuff.
Yeah, we
Super
love seeing
chats.
chat.
We really do appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, we really do.
Yep.
We really do. So
Yep.
we have a lot of expensive things to try to buy, but we love it. We'd be buying them either way. But the show and everything, it helps us a little bit. It helps us a little bit.
Not every headset, but we have a lot of headsets. The only one that I kind of wish I had was still a Vive Pro with wireless. But I'm still just holding out for this wireless index. But I don't know, man. How long am I going to wait?
And an AKX.
Come on.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, you got to try the Pimax and check it out, the lenses and stuff. Yeah,
yesterday. Pretty weird.
Yeah,
it's
right.
It's pretty cool. I like it.
Different.
Yeah.
Definitely different. But yeah.
Yep.
All right. We'll end it at that. We really do appreciate you guys being here. Keep an eye out. I know
Alex
we do have
VR's
some
a little
stuff we
late.
have to work on. Alex VR.
South
Cheers,
Memphis.
man.
Again.
Cheers.
Super chat coming through. You guys don't see it yet, but you see it in chat. But South Memphis again. He's got
Cheers,
a
man.
dancing pair. But yeah, we really do appreciate all the
really
super
do,
chats and
guys.
everything. Seriously.
Yep,
So
we really do appreciate
thank you so much. And Gaming Science Teacher. I mean, some of these mug shots this past couple weeks have been great. I just love these mug shots.
But honestly, it's crazy because just to leave you guys with this, and we are ending. But every time Sean would always come around and come hang out with me. Every time he would come, it'd be like I get to see him once a year, once every other year, and he'd come. And I know it's getting a little too close for comfort, but we would like hug and stuff. Like, we're family. We go way back. Just calm down. And it was like, I hadn't seen him in forever. It was like not seeing family for years, right? Come on, man. I'm getting heartfelt here.
Tyler's getting deep.
So anyways.
Anybody got tissues?
Now when I see him and he comes, because of VR, I'm like, not that I could care less, but it's like, dude, I just saw you.
I saw you all the time.
Like, I was just with you in VR. Like, I feel like we're not that removed from each other now.
Yeah, we're
so
really not.
It's weird.
It is weird.
I thought about that last night. And it's just different. So
it's
really cool what it does and does for us, for our friendship, for gaming, for cool. Everything we do all the time together that we normally wouldn't get to do because we live 600 miles away from each other.
VR definitely closes that distance. I mean, VR. I mean, there's been a lot of technologies over the years that have kind of shrunken the world quite a bit, and VR is another one of those mediums that really does shrink the world. It really does.
Yep.
So yeah.
I know.
Awesome.
We'll leave you guys with that. Yeah. Sorry to get a little heartfelt there. Won't do that again. But
too bad we don't have any people working behind the scenes. They could have brought tissues. We don't have it. It's just us.
They'd be laughing.
Yeah, right.
Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, seriously.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We're out of here.
Yep.
Cheers.
Later.
See you guys back here. See you in VR.
That's right.
Later, guys.
Later. Where's the ending?
You'll find it. Just keep looking.
Where is
Just keep
looking. Is
looking.
that it right here?
Do you want me to sing the song?
Oh, jeez, I can't see anything. Yeah, sing it. You might not have any music.